Hello, welcome to Profits Daily Club. My name is Josh, and today I would like to quickly share with you guys how to know your betting markets. So I'll be sharing some popular betting markets, which even though you might, bet on maybe a few already, you do not really know the other ones, just because you've never tried it or because you don't understand them. And to be honest with you, while many of us like to bet on either straight wins or draws, corner kicks, goals over 2.5 and under, and a few other markets, there are so many other cool markets that many punters miss out on because they just maybe they have no idea about it, or you understand. Um, the the predictors that they follow do not really also give them tips around those markets. So this might be new for some people, while a few others might already have ideas about this market. So anyway, we'll be using 1xbet as our platform, but the same applies to quite a number of other bookies such as melbet, so and whatever bookie you might be on. So but this is 1xbet, and you will love this particular market. In fact, I'll be sharing with you as well my best betting markets as I go along. So feel free to grab a cup of coffee or whatever your favorite drink is, and let's begin this journey. It could be a little lengthy because I actually just want to cover all the available markets in one video, so that you can be the decider, you can judge on which one is actually the best for you. And I'm very sure you discover new markets that you never knew, markets that can actually even make you bigger money than your regular markets that you bet on. Okay, all right. So on my screen right now is a game which will be holding this evening in the Champions League. So even if you're watching this video after this game has gone, it doesn't matter. What we want to get from this game is actually the betting market. So very quickly, at the top of this page you can find all markets or the popular markets, right? Or if you are the type that so what this does is to just help you to go straight to the particular market that you want to bet on. So after I've already shared with you on the general markets and the most popular markets, then next time you want to bet, you can just easily come to any of these markets, right? And go straight and place your bets. But for now, we'll start with the all markets because I want to go through all of them, because my own idea of popular might not be one expert's idea of popular market. So I'll be using the all markets. And so let's get started. So I've already shared the video previously, but it doesn't matter. So we have the 1x2 market. As you can see it at the top corner here, this is the 1x2 market. And if you love a particular market, while we are sharing it right now, okay, I'm not logged in. So if you love a particular market, you can just favorite it so that 1xbet will always show you that market ahead of other markets in your own account. Okay, so like I said, 1x2 market. We're starting with the 1x2 market. This is by far the first market on all bookies, because what it just means is you are either betting on the home team, which is represented by 1 to win, or if you're betting on the away team, also represented by 2 to win. So you simply click on that particular option that you want to bet on, which of course I know you're familiar with. So you select it and it's added to your bet slip. And for a draw, which stands for X, you also simply select it. So that's pretty clear. I'm sure every punter out there knows the 1x2 market, but of course Just in case you're new to betting, the 1x2 market is the market where you select a straight win or go for a draw. One means the home team, your draw is X and away is 2. Following the 1x2 market, we also have the double chance market. So on the double chance market, it's a variation of the 1x2 market whereby you are trying to play safe, okay? You feel a particular team should win it, but you never can tell because as they say, football, nothing is sure, things can happen. So on the double chance market, you are saying, well, if the home team is not able to win it, I expect them to still get a draw from the game, right? So that means home team wins or draws. Home team wins or draws is 1x, while x2 is away team wins or draws. As you can notice, between the upper and the lower one, it's quite lower. I mean, the margins are different. So if you're going for a straight win for away, you get 19 odds. But when you double chance it, because it could be possible and the bookies don't want to lose money, right? Just assume this game ends with 1-1 or 2-2, so you actually get 5.85 odds. So the odds are lower in double chance, but your bets are most likely going to be safer, because at least, and this is one of my best markets. Do you know why? Because no matter the game, no matter the game, you will either have a winner or a draw. You understand? So when you are not sure, you can actually split your bet between the two markets. And I'll tell you what, when the underdog is at home, this is a very, very good market because a lot of underdogs, when they play at home, they could end up surprising the big teams by even snatching a win, or they could actually play out a draw. So when underdog teams are actually at home, this is one of the markets I love. Though I'm not saying I bet on it all the time, but I just know it is one of the best options in betting. I mean, you can bet on this market without losing a bet, or you can bet on this market and always make a profit. There are some guys that call it arbitrage. So what you are doing, for instance, is you know that definitely Ajax is the favorite to win. This is the favorite team. So the double chance is going to be very low. So let's say the win for this game was actually around 2 odds. If you're going to use this option, try and go for markets with a very high odds, for both sides, so that by the time the double chance um, is done, you could still get something at least above 1.3 point odds. Okay, so what you now do is you look for an amount of money that if you were to place it on um, the home team. So let's say the double chance for the home team has dropped to 1.5 because we just want to bet on that, and I place $2,000 on that. You can see I'll be making $3,000 or an extra $1,000 on $2,000. That's on double chance. Definitely, I know that the home team. Well, just let me continue. So then, let's say for the X2, my the market is now around um let's say the market is around 4 odds. Okay, 4 odds, which is quite possible when you are getting, you can see this one is even 5.5, and then you are getting a straight win for almost close to 20 odds. So if you're double chancing the underdog, you now get around 4 odds. So what you are going to be looking at here is that if I place the possible profit that I'm supposed to get from here, which is $1,000. So if I bet on this 1x at 1.5 odds with $2,000 and it wins, I get like 1,000 dollars, right? So if I place around say $1,000 on this, so I'm saying, well, I don't know if there's going to be a shock in this game, so I'm going with both games. So I'm placing $1,000 here. So you know, of course, that this will give you $4,000. But let's do the math. So now you bet with $3,000. So no matter the outcome of this game, you're actually going to either be even or make a profit. For instance, so if the outcome is 1x, you go with $3,000, which means your bet was safe. You actually didn't lose. But let's say, for instance, that um, the away team was able to either win or the game ends in a draw. So by and do you know what? Yes, this is even very cool. So let me just finish with this. So if the away team actually ends up winning, you win $4,000. So that means you've actually gained $1,000 on this game, on your bet. So you bet 2,000 plus 1,000 and you won 4,000. So you won $4,000. You getting me? So you made $1,000 profit if it's the away team that wins. But here's another thing. Like I said, if the game ends in a draw, do you know what just happens? When a game ends in a draw, double chances always wins. So 1x will give you $3,000 and x2 will give you $4,000. So you are making a total of $7,000 and you bet with $3,000. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? So, man, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but this is one of the coolest betting options if you've never thought about it. I mean, you actually stand a chance. You know, there are some guys that actually they're good with drop predictions, right? They know how to, bet on draw games. So if you maybe follow some of those guys and you see their track record, okay, that most of the games they actually give you, wins as per draws. You understand? So that means that if a game is actually going to end in a draw, and I double chance the two teams with any amount, if I double chance these two guys with $500 and the game ends in a draw, I'm not really particular about that draw. You see, because those guys are bet on draws, it's because they often get very high odds, for draws. Fine. We are not particular about the odds on the draw. We are only particular about the odds on the double chances. So if the game actually ends in a draw, you find out that you win your two bets on that double chance. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So this is one of the coolest betting options, betting markets. If you've never tried it, if you don't know about it, I'm telling you right now, and you better start looking at some games that you can try it with. Like I said, look for games that perhaps the underdog is at home. Just like, for instance, um over this weekend, I'm recording on the 28th of September. So over this weekend, Alaves was actually, um let's just quickly do that and just check something here now. So Alaves was actually at home against Atletico Madrid, and then that should have been either on Sunday or Saturday. So in the Spanish league, so and the game ended with Alaves winning the match. I know you already understand my analogy. Just let me quickly show you the potential of this. So okay, so this is Saturday. I mean, this is Sunday, so it wasn't on falling on Sunday. So let's go back to Saturday. So I'm going to show you from here what the pre-odds for Alaves was, you know, prior to the game, and what the odds for. So look at the match. Alaves beats Atletico Madrid. We'll click on that, and it opens a new window. Sorry, I'm digressing a bit, but like I explained to you, this is I'm also going to be sharing with you my own personal betting, I mean, my best betting market as we go along. So this was the match, and before the game, Athletic Madrid to win was 1.48, while Alaves was 8.74. And guess what? 8.74 odds won the bet. Now, you can imagine if you double chance these two guys. Majority of people would have gone for Atletico Madrid to get a straight win. So with this very low odd already for a straight win, you know that the double chance is going to be also very low for Athletic Madrid. So if you're actually going with this bet, for instance, you will need to bet a very high amount of money on Athletic Madrid to win. But I will just share with you another tip to try again. So, but for double chance on Alaves, you might have gotten something as high as 3 or 4 odds. Do you get what I'm saying? So, let me quickly go back to um, our market and explain another way to do this. So, another way to do what I've just explained to you is that while you are going for double chance on the underdog in case the match ends in a draw or the underdog even wins. And so I put 1,000. Okay, I put like $200 on this right now. So 5.85 with $200 will give me $1,170. Okay, now the second option that I want to give to you guys is when the odds for straight wins is already very low. I mentioned somewhere that you can play this when the odds for straight wins is on the high side, like maybe like 1.8 to 2 odds for the favorite team, while the underdog probably has like a 6 odds and above or 10 odds. So by the time you look at the double chance from about 2 odds for the straight win, then the double chance will be something at least 1.3, 1.4 to 1.5. Okay, so but here's another option to try it out with. So when the odds are low, like Athletic Madrid was 1.48, you simply place a bet on Athletic Madrid for straight win. Okay, just play for straight win. So if I put $1,000 on the 1.48, you already know that will give you what's it now? So $1,000 on 1.48 that we just saw with Athletic Madrid. So this is what happens. I'm going to be getting um 1,480, but because I've actually bet on two markets, I've actually bet with $1,200. Remember, $1,000 on straight win and $200 on the double chance for the underdog. So my total bet is $1,200. So if the match ends with Athletic Madrid winning the game, I'll be getting um about 2 minus 1 2, so that will be about $280. All right, so this is going to be my profit. So do you see what I mean by, so you always be able to make some profit on this option. Whereas if the match actually ends in a draw, and we were supposed to actually win $1,070. So with $1,200, it means that we will be short with $30. So we would actually lower. So let's say we do $180 times 5.85. I'm just trying to explain this very well to you guys because it's one of the coolest betting options. So with lowering that a little bit to $180 and double chance for the underdog actually comes through, I would I'll be getting I'll be getting this amount. Okay. But okay, so you see what's going on right now is that with the amount I bet on the straight win and the amount I bet on the double chance, I must be able to win something higher than that on whatever the outcome is, especially for the double chance on the underdog. So I must be in profit. Excuse me. You understand? You must be in profit. So you've got to do your calculations very well. And again, that buttresses the point that you've got to look for the games that the straight win is higher, because if the straight win for the favorite team is too low, you will likely not make a profit on these two options, except of course um, you are placing the bet on just double chances for you know either of the sides or on both sides. So you just need to do your calculation and you will get this very well. You can actually make profit no matter the outcome of the game. This is why they call it arbitrage. Whether the game ends in a draw, the underdog wins, or the favorite team wins, you can make a minimum of $10 or $20 or above. So do your calculation, and I bet you will love this option. All right. So the next market, as you can see on the screen, is both teams to score. A lot of punters call it goal, and depending on you, it could be one of your favorite betting markets. So what does it mean? It simply means that in any game, if the two teams score, then well, actually, it can work both ways. So you can either bet on the fact that you expect both teams to score, which you would win if that's the outcome, or you can actually bet on the fact that yes, one of these two teams is not going to score, and you're so sure about that because probably because of the pedigree of the favorite team. So this market is there for you, whichever um, option, excuse me, you would like to go with. Okay, so the only thing about this market is you've got to be very sure. This is not, yes, we know we are gambling, but this is not ideal for you to just throw your money at it if you are not sure. There are some teams that can actually grind out results with even a single goal, and you are almost sure that their opponents aren't going to get a goal against them. So if you know those types of teams, why not give it a try, give it a shot? So you can bet that both teams to score no, and you could cash out with a cool 1.6 odds in this market. Moving on, the next market here right now is the total goals market. Though you see total here, but it actually represents the total goal market. And what this market simply means is you're betting on the total number of goals in a game. So as you know, the minimum goal you can have in any match is one, while there's no limit to the maximum number of goals you can have. Okay, so we've seen games with 13-0. I think I've seen a game with almost 20 zeros, as in over 20 goals in some funny leagues. So there really isn't any limit to goals in a game. While of course you also know that some games don't have goals in them, especially low scoring sides. So this market is where you choose if you love to bet on goals, if you know whether a team is going to score a lot or not. On the left hand side, we have the over, and on the right hand side, you have the under, which means that okay, so we have over 0.5 means that there must be at least one goal in the game. Under 0.5, there is not going to be a goal in the game. No goal at all under 0.5. Over 1.5 goals, there is going to be over one goal in the game. Actually, it stands for over two goals. Okay, you must have at least two goals in the game for your bet to win over 1.5 goals. But for under 1.5 goals, it means that even if there's a goal in the game, as long as it's not up to two goals, then your bet wins. So when you see 1.5, it means that even though it looks like a fraction, a decimal, right? So it's not a whole number, but what it means is there must be over 1.5, one and a half, or 2.5. So there must be over that number of goals or under that number you are looking at. So whether it's um 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, you will decide. Can this game have up to four goals? I don't think so. So sorry about that. So I'm gonna go with under 3.5. So don't get it confusing. Don't let it confuse you. Under 3.5 means that even though there are three goals in the game, it shouldn't get to four goals. It shouldn't exceed three goals. So that's under 3.5. And the good thing about this game, this betting market, is that you could get some really cool odds on it. Say, for instance, I've noticed something quite recently. A lot of big teams are assumed that they're going to have a lot of goals, right? So, like this game, for instance, it is assumed that Ajax is going to have, you know, be able to score a lot of goals. That's why you are seeing the over 1.5, over 2.0 quite low. Even this 2.5 is quite low for a football game. It's just because they feel and they know Ajax is a high scoring side all the same, but they feel that the minimum goals here will be starting from three goals. That's why this is the only odd that makes sense for the over goals, yes. While for the under goals, you're gonna see something right now. You see, the the most, I would say, probably the safest odds, or yeah, the safest would be actually under 5.5, but the most ideal odds, if you wanted to give it a shot, will be under 5.0. So what are they saying is that you don't expect the game to go above five goals, okay? So as long as there are four goals or less, then this bet will win, okay? But if you have so let me just quickly talk about the ones that have a whole number. So if you have exactly five goals in this game, your bet is going to be refunded. To win this bet right now, you must have exactly less than five goals, okay? So when you see any whole number here, it means that you are only going to win that bet if the total number of goals isn't going to exceed that number in the case of under, or only if it exceeds that number in the case of over. However, the good thing about this option is that if you go for an over any number and the game ends with exactly that number of goals, like over 4, over 3, and the game ends with 2-2 or 3-1 or 4-0, which is 4 goals, and you've gone for over 4 because, oh, what a lovely odd, 2.3 odds. But the only way you're going to win this 2.3 odds is if you have over 4 goals. That means from 5 goals. But here's a good thing: even if the game ends with, and here's the thing, it's not a good thing actually, it depends. So if the game ends with 4 goals exactly, then your money is safe. That is the good thing. But if it's less than 4 goals, I'm sorry, there, you're gonna lose a bet. All right, so I guess this should be clear. If it's not clear enough, you can just drop me a comment so that we can quickly move on. And this Asian total is just a variation of the total we've just discussed. So, but it isn't a popular betting market, so I'm going to skip it. The next market we have is the handicap market. So, under the handicap market, this is how it works. You already know that. So it's just another variation of our double chance, and I also love it too, actually. But it could be very tricky to bet on. Okay, so I wouldn't advise you to bet on this all the time, but you could learn to bet with it or bet on it over time as well. So our match has Shakhtar Donetsk, no, Besiktas as the underdog, but I'm going to say that if I'm going to win on this handicap, then this is the best option for me, the safest option for me right now. It means that I'm actually giving Besiktas 4 goals ahead. So if the match ends with 2-1, 3-1, 3-0 in favor of Ajax, because I've given Benfica 4 goals ahead, that means that um, if the match ends with 3-0, for instance, then that means that the match actually ended with 3-4 because I've given Besiktas over 3.5 goals, which is representing 4 goals. Okay, so I would win this bet on this occasion. And if I gave Besiktas over 3.0 goals and the match ends with 3-0, which means that at the end of the day, the match actually ends as 3-3. Do you know? It's just like a mathematics um, equation. So this side has 3 and this side has 0. But I've given this side with 0, I've given them 3 goals ahead in the game. So whatever the outcome is at the end of the day, my 3 extra goals for the away side will be added to the result. So if it ends as a draw, but wow, so sorry, this recording has me coughing, but I've just got to finish it because I've started already. So if it ends as a draw, 3-3, because I've chosen a whole number, I'll be refunded. But if it actually ends with 2-1 or 3-1 or 3-2, then of course the away side will be adjudged to win. Then I can win this bet. I hope you get that. So on the underdog side, all the odds you see means you're giving the underdog extra goals. Okay, understood? Fine. Now let's talk about the on the favorite team side. Um, so the first one says Ajax to win with 5.5 goals margin. Now, if you don't understand this market, you'll get confused. This is simply telling you that there must be at least 6 goals scored by Ajax at the end of this game. in order for this bet to win. And this says there must be at least 5 goals scored in this game by Ajax, of course, you know, in order for this bet to win. So what we are looking at is if if no sorry, it's actually yes, it's true, but this is the minus. Okay, note that there is a minus in front of this number, which is like a subtraction. So you're actually given Ajax to beat Besiktas with more than the number of goals you're seeing here. If you choose, so let's choose something that's moderate. Okay, you can see the odds are changing live. So if you choose this, which is about 2 odds, right? For those who usually love 2 odds in bets, you are simply saying that you expect Ajax to win this game with at a minimum of 3 goals, unreplied, or above whatever Besiktas is going to get. So if the game ends with 3-0, this bet wins, okay? Because 2.5 means more than 2 goals, right? And 3-0 is more than 2 goals. And you actually, what you're doing here is you are subtracting, while you're giving the away team these extra goals, but you are subtracting this amount of goals from the home team's total number of goals, while you still expect them to win the game. So if you subtract 2 goals from their game and they win with exactly 2-0, this is going to be a refund. Anyone that has a full number and the match ends with exactly that type of result is going to be a refund. But if it's this is not bad actually in this particular game. So as we expect Ajax to actually outclass, their away team, just subtracting 2 goals from their number of goals. So even if the game ends with 3-1, right? 3-1, there is a difference of, you see, the advantage of the fraction is that even when there's a difference of just 2 goals, because it's a fraction, 1.5 is less than 2, right? That is why you actually win on this bet. So if I give Ajax 2 goals up and expect them to still win, and they go ahead to win by 2-0, 3-1, 3-0, I win 1.43 odds. Are you getting this market? So just look at it, play around it. It's quite easy, but if you've got questions, you can just send me a comment, okay? I wouldn't like to waste so much time. Let's move on. This is also an additional variation, but we won't be talking about that to handicap as well. So we won't be talking about that because it's not so popular. But it's actually a very cool option sometimes, but I won't go into that today. Let me quickly jump on the total goals. As you can see in the heading, it says total 1. In other words, the total number of goals for the home team. Remember, from the beginning, 1 stands for the home, while 2 stands for the away side. So for total 1, we're saying that how many goals do we expect the home side to score? So of course the minimum is 0.5, because Ajax is expected to score a lot. You don't even see 1.5 in it, but you go to 2 and all the way to 4.5. Okay, so we all know that Ajax can score as much as they scored 5 against Sporting Lisbon the other time. So if they score 5 today, wow, a whooping 4 odds. Okay, do you get that? So the total number of goals simply means that at least 2.5 goals, which is 3 goals by Ajax, will give you 1.57 odds. And if you're looking for something close to 2 odds, which is here at 1.9, then you're expecting Ajax to score at least 3 goals or more. If they score 4 goals, then your bet wins. If they score exactly 3 goals, you get a refund. Unfortunately, if they score less than 3 goals, your bet loses. Do you get that right now? And the same applies on the other side. So if you feel that, oh, the away side might be the underdog, but there ain't no way that Ajax is going to steamroll them, right? So I don't see Ajax getting up to 4 goals in the game. I don't see Ajax getting up to 3 goals in the game. Then you simply put your money on it and say, okay, so Ajax isn't going to get up to 4 goals here, and I'm going for a 1.3 odds, or I don't expect Ajax to score more than 2 goals, so I'm going for under 3, and it's 1.9 as well. So if there's 2 goals or less, you win it. If it's 3, it's refunded. But if it's more than 3, sorry, your money loses. So if I were you, I wouldn't try that with Ajax. Okay, all right. So you get how that works right now. Total one is the total number of goals the home team. One always represents the home team. It doesn't have to be Ajax. Any team at all that you're betting on. The home team total. And this is just another variation as well. So I won't be talking about the Asian total because it's confusing to me and I don't bet on it. So and it isn't popular anyway. Then we come over to just the same thing for the away side. So, do you expect the away side to get a goal in this game? It's almost 2 odds. You can try it, guys. So that's how it works. You also look at the away side on your bet and just pick any goal. So I'll be going for never mind my bet. So that's it. Total is total number of goals. So that's pretty clear enough. Let's move on. Let's move on. Next goal. So this is another market called the next goal market. The simple truth about this is that you're trying to predict who scores the next goal. It could be the first goal and it could be another number of goals. So if this were a live game and a side was already up by a goal or even more than a goal, you're saying, okay, the next goal is still going to come from either the home team or the away team, right? So I don't like this bet. I don't recommend you betting on this market because it could be really tricky, even when you expect a particular team to score first. It's also like saying who's going to score first. So if the game is 0-0, you're saying, oh, the next goal is going to come from the home team because the home team is the favorite team. But we've seen own goals, we've seen corner kick goals, we've seen penalties. So you never know who's going to get the next goal, guys. So if you want to try it, that's your luck. You can always try it. So that's what it means. Next goal market. Okay, let's go there. Okay, so here's a market that is not too popular, but I'll just talk about it. How goal will be scored. So the odds and options are pretty straightforward. You can look at it. Score by kicking, and note it says goal number one. So this is not saying, oh, any other goal in the game. I won. No, it's got to be first goal. Okay, so will it be a header, penalty? This is exactly what I'm saying. There could be goals from any way, own goals, penalty. You understand? So, how will the goal be scored? How will the first goal be scored? Who knows? Why would I even want to bet on that? Anyway, most often than not, the first not just about the first goal, but most often than not, goals usually 90 90%. Okay, let's call it 90% of the time will be by kicking. So if you want to give it a shot, this could just be a secret market for you. It doesn't matter the game actually. You just play it that the next goal, the first goal is going to be by kicking, and you get it almost 50%. This is 45% of your stake, man. So, like I said, you might be discovering some markets that you never play, you never knew, but with this video right now, you're seeing them. Okay, so why not? Don't ever bet on own goal. You can never be sure. That's going to just be a loss for you, man. So between a kick or a header or a penalty, but I'll just stick with a kick if I were going to bet on this market. So I could just try it with a few games every weekend, and it doesn't look bad actually. So that's your choice. Let's go. Now a lot of guys also like this option, but man, I don't like it. Sometimes I have an idea, I have a hunch in my mind that this game is going to end with a particular score line, and it turns out to be so. And I ask myself, why didn't I bet on it? But it's too risky, man. It's too risky. So if you feel you're a sightseer and you know how to, you predict correct scores, this is your market, man. This is your market. You can see this odds, 10 odds. Imagine getting 10 odds from one game, 10 odds, 20 odds, 80 odds. Come on, where are you gonna see that? 200 odds. Are you kidding me right now? Well, that's your choice. You can just assume, okay, let's give this game a potential option. For me, I would say 4-0. Do I have 4-0 here? No. So here's the thing with correct scores. Usually there are several of them. So if you don't find the one that you're looking for, just move down. Okay, so here it is. You can actually just choose your option by yourself under here, and you're saying 4-0. Okay, 9.5 odds. Wow, is this cool or what? Anyway, so that's all about correct scores. If you want to bet on it, you think you know how to predict games, then it's your market, man. All right, so let's go. Now, this option is also there, but I've never bet with it, and well, it's your choice to bet on it. Will there be a digit in the score? So if this game ends with 4-0, like we said, definitely there's going to be a zero digit in the score, and you bet on 1.73 odds. Also, there's going to be a four digit in the score, and that gives you 4.7 odds. Wow, this market is crazy. If you really want to gamble with your money, you could try these options and some bets. Okay, so and it also works on the no side. So would there be two in this? No, I don't think. Actually, I don't think there will be two in this game because I expect above two goals. Okay, so if I say okay, no, I don't see two in this game at all. So that's 1.33. Wow, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's go. Okay, so this is the market that I play and I love it and it's cool actually. So it's team one result plus total. Okay, team one result plus total. So our team one is Ajax, and the results of the game. So are they winning it? Is it going to end in a draw or is it going to end in double chance? That's for you to decide. So let's take a look now. So the first set of options says, okay, so I expect Ajax to win this game, but not get up to two goals. If you see TU, that stands for total under. If you see TO, that's total over. Okay, and W1 stands for one to win, which is home to win. Team one result plus total. Is Ajax going to win this game but not score up to two goals like just 1-0? That's a choice. 12 odds. Will they win this game but not score up to three goals? 4.9 odds. Will they win this game but not score up to four goals? 2.56 odds. So that's it. You can just pick whatever you feel comfortable with. If you feel you're a good punter, or you could also say they are going to win this game and they are going to have over 1.5 goals. I'm sure of that. So, yes, just bet on it. It's 1.25 odds. Okay, they are going to win this game and they are going to have actually it's not about Ajax's goals, total goals here right now is about the total goals in the match. So if the game ends with 2-1, which is 2.5 goals, but of course 2-1 means the home side won. So Ajax wins and total over 2.5. Total of the game. Total over 2.5. You get 1.43 odds. It's not about one side scoring all the goals. Okay, so the same thing over 3.5, over 4.5, over 5.5. You get 5 odds. Wow. Okay, let's go. So right after over 5.5, you're saying then 1x. Well, I'm not sure if they're going to win, but whatever the outcome is, they will either win or draw. So we're talking about double chances here again, but combining it with total goals. So you can see this is how to boost your odds. If you look at the straight win and it's a little bit too low, you look at the total goals, you're trying to play safe. Okay, so I don't want to bet on more than 2 goals in the game. So I don't know if there will be more than 2 goals actually. All right, so I'll just stick with the home team to win and to have more than 2 goals in the game. So it could be 2-0, it could be 2-1, 3-0, 3-1, none of my business. So, but I'm sticking with 1x, either win or draw, and a certain number of goals. So I go with it. And it could also be double chance 1x, but not up to a certain number of goals. So 1x and total under 2.5. Yes. So the key thing here is the yes. If you agree with the options here and you say yes, so you bet on it. But if you don't agree with the option, oh no, it's not going to be possible, then you bet on this. Is that clear? So let's go. So the same thing applies to the other side. Is the other side able to win this game and score less? So as unbelievable as it might be, so we assume, oh, Ajax just runs away with 1-0, just like Alaves beat Atletico Madrid with 1-0. So that's under 1.5, and they won it. Wow, 56 odds. Can you believe that? That's your choice, guy. You can bet on it too. So I guess that's clear enough. Okay, I'm not going for a straight win. They will either win or draw, but there won't be more than 4 goals in this game. So X2 and total under 3.5. Another huge odds 8.4. Wow, this is just lovely, lovely, lovely. I love these odds. Well, now you see and now you know. So go ahead and bet on it. Okay? Now the next market is called the total even market. Now, this is not a popular market, but let me just talk about it. It's really a very dicey market. I won't recommend you betting on this market anyway. So, if the game ends with 2, 4, 6, any combination that's an even number, yes, so you win. And if you say no and it's 3-1, it's an odd number, you understand, you win this bet. So, let's move on. Now, this is one of the new markets that I love, 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 love so much. And if you've not seen my video yet on how to cash out in 15 minutes on any game, then go back to my channel and check my intro video on how to cash out in 15 minutes on any market. So I've talked about how most games, at least 70% of games will not have a goal in 15 minutes. There are some bookies that actually give you 10 minutes, but the odds will be lower, of course. But forget about this odds you are seeing here. It's only because it's Ajax that's playing, and you will be shocked, or you could be shocked, that in 15 minutes there could still not be a goal in this game because Turkish sides are a little bit defensive as well. So, but because Ajax is at home anyway, I know there will be a first half goal. You can watch the results after this video anytime you're seeing it. But anyway, so this market says that is there going to be a goal in 15 minutes? If you say yes, and 15 minutes, if you say yes, right, and there's a goal within 15 minutes, of course you win. If you say no, That's the case. So you look at the time frames and you decide. So for the whole first half, is there going to be a goal? Yes or no? That's your choice. So that's what this market actually represents. Will there be a goal up to a minute, 15 minutes, 21 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes? Those leagues that are very defensive, Spanish and some other leagues can win, and any league as well. As a matter of fact, 15 minutes especially, you can get at least a minimum of 2.1.25 odds, but averagely it's always above 1.3 odds for no goal in 15 minutes. But here you're actually saying go one up to 15 minutes, yes. So be careful. Go one up to 15 minutes, no. So if you feel there will be no goal in 15 minutes, okay, this is the order I was supposed to talk about. So 1.58. This is high because it's higher, but mostly you get from 1.25 to 1.3 and upwards like this. So the choice is yours. Will there be a goal in the first half? Surprisingly, if there's no goal in the first half, you get 5 odds. What? So let's go on anyway. That's clear, I guess. Now, this market is not always popular. It's not so popular, but you never know. There are some leagues that usually, like all the South American leagues, you get a lot of red cards, a lot of penalties. This type of bets, you only win them once in a new moon. Will there be a penalty and sending off to get that penalty awarded and sending off? You must read that well. So yes or no. So the choice is yours. It's not a popular market. Will there be an unconverted penalty in the match? That there has to be a penalty first. So it's not a popular market. So we move on. Both teams to get red cards. Very, very unpopular. But you love high odds. One day, one day you will recover all the money you bet on it. Okay, player to get a goal at any time. Now, this is a market that is popular, but I don't like it, man. I don't like it for any reason. But I'll tell you something about this market. So here it is, player to get a goal. So you're betting on any player in the game to get a goal. So if you feel a particular player is going to get a goal, then you bet on it. And what I'm going to say is there are some players maybe defenders, they just can't get a goal. So you can actually look for them and say no. You understand? So that's just all I'll say about that. It's not so popular, but let's just go on. So players to get a goal market very long because the list of players. Okay. So the next market is the HTFT. Now I know some of you might be wondering, hey, I've been saying this HTFT. So what exactly does it mean? Well, HTFT applies to half time, full time. So, and the long description is half time, full time results. So, what this actually implies is in any game, like you already know, you have one as home, you have X as draw, and you have two as away. So, let's look at all the scenarios. Don't forget that half time is the first one, and then full time is the second one. So, you're saying the home team is going to be leading and win the game at the end of the full time. So the home team is going to be leading in halftime and win the game at the end of the full time. This is a little different from another market that says the home team or any team to win both halves. So we might get there. So the home team wins both the first half and wins in full time. Do you get that now? That's 1-1, W1, W1. Home wins in halftime and at the end of the full time. While X and W1 says the first half or by halftime will be a draw, then the home will win in full time. Now, I must tell you guys, this is one market that is very, 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 very hot. A lot of punters, or some punters, not a lot, some punters make a killing from this market. I mean, there are leagues that people know them that the first half is going to be a draw, and then the favorite team is definitely going to win in the second half. You understand? So they just go for halftime, draw, and win for the home team or win for the away team, depending on who is the favorite. And they have massive odds. I mean, can't you see the odds? It could only be low when, especially, the winning side is is a very you know hot team, and so it's not so high. But these odds can be really very high. So let me just explain it again. So let's continue. So X and W1 draw in halftime and home wins in full time. W2 and W1. So the away side to be leading in halftime, but the home team to win in full time. W1 and X. Home team to be leading in halftime for the game to end in a draw. So draw, halftime, full time ends in draw. Away leads in halftime and the game ends in a draw. Away wins first half and home wins first half and away wins the second half. Draw in first half and away wins. Away to win both halves, wins in halftime, rather wins halftime and wins in full time, while home wins halftime, away to either win or draw the second half, away wins or leads the halftime, and home either wins or draws the second, I mean, yes, the full time. So that's the market. You can study it and try it out on some bets. If you think you love it because of the high odds, then you can start betting on it. All right. Now remember our market of goal up to a minute. This is just a little variation of it. So, but I don't like this market. Goal interval. Is team one going to score between first minute and 15 minutes, or between 16 minutes and 30 minutes, or between 31 minutes? So you really can't tell when any team is going to score. Okay, so this is just a waste of time and a waste of money. But you could actually play it on the opposite side. I think the best way to bet on this is to, okay, yes, this is for yes. So for me, the best way to bet on this is for the no. Okay, so do you think, though, as you can see, the odds will be really low anyway, depending on who you are backing. So do you think team one, and this is the thing about it, you are saying between this 15 minutes interval, is there going to be a goal or not? So you really don't know, and it's just could be a waste of money, because it's not about will there be a goal before 45 minutes, will there be a goal between the 31st minute to the 45th minute. I don't think you want to play with this market anyway, so let's just leave them aside. Scores in each half. Now, if a lot of people do this, it simply means which half will have the highest number of goals. Most games, anyway, tend to have more goals in the second half. So, if you say um, first half is going to be higher than second half, you get 3 odds. First half goals and second half goals will be exactly the same thing. You get 4.5 odds. Or the second half, as you can see, one is less than two. So first half is going to be less than two, or in other words, second half is going to have the most goals. This is what you get, and a lot of people make good money from this as well. I hope that's clear. Now, European handicap. This is not so different from what we talked about. You are simply giving a particular team some goals ahead. So if we give away, as you can see, the digits 0 5, so we're giving away 5 goals, but we're saying home will win and we get 10 odds. Remember what we did before. But if we give away 5 goals and the game ends in a draw, we get 9.5 odds. But if we give away 5 goals, which is quite a lot, and the away actually ends up winning, even with 4-0 in full time, that means away wins, and you can see how low it is. So it's not a popular market. I wouldn't advise you unless you want to try it. So this is not a bad option. You see, the difference between this is that you're not actually saying, you see the other one, you're saying a particular team has to score a number of goals. Okay, you're not saying who is going to win. So if Ajax scores 3 goals right now, and you've given the away side 2 goals, and Ajax scores 3 goals, the odd wasn't up to 1.98, because all you're saying is okay. So Ajax is going to have over 2.5, and then you've given them 2 goals ahead, so you're going to have like maybe 1.53 odds, if I remember. So, but here you're saying they would win with even this amount of goals ahead. They will win the game. So if the game ends with 3-0, then and they win, of course, this is when you win this particular bet. Or it ends with a draw, or the way ends up to win it. So this is what this market is all about. If you want to try it, European handicap, it's your choice. This is one market I love, love, love so much. So in a game like this, there are some teams that really know how to score. PSG, Man City, then Barca, you know, Liverpool. So Dortmund and Bayern Munich, those are my go-to teams for goals. So goals both half simply means that first half there will be a goal, second. Now, why I love this game, it doesn't matter if the game ends with 2-0, as long as a goal was scored in the first half and a goal was scored in the second half, you win this bet. So you see games whereby maybe over 2.5 is really low, or over 1.5 is really low, they expect you to bet from 3.5. I don't even bother myself. I just go for, if the bookies expect the goals to be much, thereby reducing the odds for the total goals, then that tells you that there are likely going to be goals in the game. So why don't you just instead go for goals in both halves, and you could just be smiling to the bank. All right, and of course it works the opposite way. So those games whereby the first halves are usually draws, you are also going to say, oh no, there won't be goals in both halves. So either the first half has a goal or the second half, so you go with no, and you could be smiling to the bank too. So that's what that means. And this is another market I love and I bet on a lot. So when I'm not too sure, like giving a team a straight win, but I know they are still the favorite, I'll just go for home team to win at least one half. So let's say the home team wins 1-0 or 2-0 or 2-1 in the first half, then they won one half. Do you understand? Or if it's not the case, that's a no, you win your bet. Or a away team to win at least one half. So as long as they lead, the total result in that particular half is on the side of whoever you're betting on, then your bet wins. So one team must actually win the half in terms of having the highest goals in that particular half. And like I said, it's a very lovely market. It's low because of the team we're looking at, but some teams have very, very good odds for this. Very, very, very good odds for just winning a half. They're not saying they'll win in full time because you're not too sure. They might still win in full time, but as long as they win one half, we are okay. And sometimes get as high as 1.4 or higher. So that applies to both. Either team wins a half. And this is just similar. So draw in at least one half. Yes, of course, like you already know, some halves could end in draw, especially the first half. So this is a market that you can actually be making a lot of money from, because we know if anybody has given you a tip for a full-time draw, then that tells you that there will be at least a draw in one half. And you can just bet on this 2.2 odds. My God, that's good money. All right, so it's a choice. Penalty awarded. Now, this is a risky one. You never can tell, but if you just feel like betting on it and trying your luck, it's there for you. Race to end goals, race to number of goals. So you're saying this team will get to this amount of goals first before the other one. So you can see 2 goals, 3 goals, and 4 goals. Team one to get to the second goal before team two scores, or to get to the third goal, even though it could be 1-1. So the third goal will be for the home team. The fourth goal will be for the home team. Or the wayside or neither of them. So that's a choice. That's not a popular market, but it's available. Would that be a home goal? It's a choice, but that's straight, simple enough. Home goal means a team, a player scoring against his own side. That's a home goal. So would that be a home goal in the game? It's a choice. Now, first half and second half result. So this is similar to the halftime and full time, but it's different. You see, in halftime, actually, yeah, it's to me. I think it's close. I think it's close, but so first half result and second half result. So let's say home wins first half and home wins second half. You can see it here. Home wins the first half. So like I was saying, it's different from half time, full time because in the second half, a game might I have 1-0 in the first half and have 1-1 in the second half. But that means in full time, the home team actually still won 2-1. You understand? So they won in full time. But they didn't win that second half. The second half was actually a draw. It was 1-1. So this is what this means. So a team can so you're saying one team wins one half, the other wins the other half by leading in terms of goal, or it's both draws, or however you want to pick it. So who knows and who cares? I don't bet on this. It's not popular. It's your choice. So again, go first goal time. Again, very risky, not worth it. So um, just decide on when you think the first goal is scored, and you could win anything from any of these odds. Okay, first goal time again, but this time around in what half? So will the first goal be scored in the first half or in the second half, or will there be no goal? So that's your choice. And this odd in second half is so high because they expect and they are telling you that there should be a goal in this first half, no matter what. So, but for some games, actually, for some games, they will be very close to each other because you just can't tell. Three-way total. All right. So, will there be more than two goals in the game, or exactly two goals, or under two goals? So, if you feel like betting on this, it's not popular, but it's a choice. You have to just be. This market is tricky. If you think it's free money, exactly two goals. The game has to end with 1-1, 2-0, two goals. But if it's more than, then you lose. That's why you have the over two here. And I think this is even free money here because if I remember, in total goals, we had over two was very very low, less than 1.1 because they expected at least three 2.5 goals. So I'm not sure about this market. I don't bet on it, but if it's what I'm thinking to have three-way total, three-way total. Let's see, three-way total over two. I'm not actually sure about this market, but it might not represent goals. So total is usually for goals. So I could try it out one of these days and let you know what my findings are. I'll just bet on it and see the exact outcome of the bet. So individual three-way total one. I think it's actually goals. It's about goals. So, but I'm going to try it out. So, would team one have over three goals or over four goals? It's or exactly or under. So, we have to find out. But you can also give it a try out yourself. That's not a popular market anyway. So we'll move on. Is their total goals going to be an even number or not? We've talked about even numbers, so you can decide if you want to bet on that. Total goal minutes. Now, this is not a popular market. Let's just skip it right now. First goal time, similar to what we just discussed before. I won't advise you, except you want to say if you're sure that there should be goal in the first half. And this is not even about first half, it's about a particular time interval, just like what we talked about before. I don't advise you betting on this, so let's keep it. Goal after a minute. Will there be a goal after 81 minutes? Now, this is a cool market, though it's not a popular market. I say it's cool because there are games where we have very late goals, and at the odds 1.88. You can just give it a shot in some matches, Oh, this team should still get a goal after 80 minutes. Well, go ahead and try. If to score last goal is just a guess. If you feel like betting on it, go ahead. But it's exactly what it says. Who's going to score the last goal in a game? So if you know a team is probably the favorite, they will always get either the first goal or the last goal. You can just use this market to always add to your accumulators. It's not too bad. This is a betting market that I saw recently, and I would never bet on it anyway. Would the substitute player score in the game after coming in? How would I know? I would never bet on this market. Okay, is anybody going to have two goals in a game? That's a brace. If you think so, Lewandowski, for instance, in the game, you can bet on it. Is anybody going to have a hat trick in the game? You can bet on it as well. You understand? Two goals with brace. Hat trick, three goals. You can bet on that. Short-handed goal will be scored. I actually don't know the meaning of this, but you can Google the meaning of short-handed, and it's not a popular market. Let's skip it. Anything to win by. Now, this is a market that at times I've bet on it once or twice, but it's really a very tricky market. So you're saying, okay, so is Ajax going to win by two goals or by three goals? That is margin, and you have to be accurate to win this bet. So they must win by exactly three goals. That means the margin must be exactly that amount, or like in this case, three or more goals, or you can actually win the bet. So it's not a popular market, but it could be a really cool cash making market if you feel like trying it. There are teams that they just usually try to have like two goals cushion, so you can always expect them to have like a one goal or two goal, margin in their games. Now, this is another good odd market, but it's good for those guys who play draws, like I've talked about, and so the game must end in a draw, and there must be less than 9.5 corners or over 9.5 corners. So 16 odds. My goodness, I can't believe it. How would I know a game that would end in a draw and give me either 10 corners or less than that? Wow, this is something cool. Anyway, we don't know the outcome, or we don't know if it's going to be a draw, but we know Ajax are going to win, right? So we know this team can win or should win, which is okay by us. And will there be a certain number of corners? So we all know teams that have a lot of corners: PSG, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Dortmund. And if in any game you think they're going to win, this is a hot market, really hot market. I don't bet on it, but see it right now, I think it's a hot market. It's tricky, but so are other markets anyway. So it's really hot. Games that there will always be a lot of corners. So over 10 corners is not a problem. But will they win? Will that particular team win? That's just the only thing. You understand? So really, really hot. Really, really hot. How many goals will each team score? The key word is each team. So um will both teams score two goals or more? Will both teams score less than two goals or at least two goals? So you can just, but it has to be both. There are games that you have 2-2, or and the beautiful thing about this is that even if the game ends with 2-1, that means somebody didn't score up to two goals. So this option would win, right? So, but it's really tricky. So it's your choice, right? The result in minutes. Now, this is something I've not seen in one expert, or which I don't bet on, but which I was talking about. Yeah. Now, this is different because you're not just saying about goals. So you're not just saying um, if a goal is scored in 15 minutes or not, but who will be leading or what will be the result actually. That's what you're saying. So in 15 minutes, if there's no goal, and it's not even about no goal, some games you'll be shocked. Some games are 1-1 in 15 minutes already or in 30 minutes. So will the game still be a draw in 30 minutes or 15 minutes or 60 minutes? And see what you get. Or who will be winning in this amount of minutes? Man, this is a cool market. Cool market. You could just guess and win. So I actually expect, for instance, I actually expect Ajax to be leading by 30 minutes. You can't say Besiktas are such a poor side, but especially if the Ajax was in their league, this is a market I would actually come back to look at. They would always usually be leading by the first half. That's why you can see in 60 minutes it's quite low, but in 30 minutes, I expect them to be leading in 30 minutes, even in this game. I'll remember to check that. So you understand, result in minutes. Who will be leading by a certain time? It could even be a draw, and you could get as high as all these odds. Wow. You see, we're learning new markets. We're learning new markets, or you could give it a double chance. So you're saying you don't know whether it's the away side that will be winning or the home side, but anybody, remember, 1-2 is for anybody winning will be winning in either of these times, and you can also bet on it. But if I'm not sure, so I double chance a particular team that no matter what, this team should always be the favorite and should be the team winning. Or even if I don't give them a 1x or x2, I could go with anybody. So even if it's that same team that is leading, it still applies that anybody is actually leading by that time. And it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad market. It's not a bad market at all. Now exactly this is exactly like 15 minutes no goal. Will there be a goal up to a minute? If you say no, this is actually giving you